Hello and welcome to First Impressions. This is a show where my co-host Dash Hooper and I evaluate a new album each week with a few simple ground rules. First, we can only play it once. Then we have to rate it in a variety of categories. After that, we take notes and then we play it again, because I know with any of these we can't just play once and think we could actually know what to say. And the album we're looking at tonight is the 1990 album People's Instinctive Travels and the Paths of Rhythm by A Tribe Called Quest. And that is a mouthful of an album title. And it didn't even fit in the description. It's People's Instinctive Travels ellipse, because it's a lot. So, Dash, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing wonderful. How are you about yourself?
I'm good. I just got back from 4 hours at the eye doctor. Eyes are dilated, so forgive me if I have to be the squinting guy. I'm sitting, the room's dark. I mean, it's got enough natural light that I'm not in darkness, but I turned on the lights and then you get kind of the shimmering and all that fun. So, no, I have not been using any substances I shouldn't. I just got my eyes dilated, and the substance was those drips the eye doctor put in. All that fun.
I've been there.
But I'm back. I was wondering because I reached a point. I started messaging you, started messaging Pops. Like, I don't know how this is going to work out. There's still a lot of people ahead of me, and I'm still waiting for the doctor to call me in. But luckily, he started moving us out like conveyor belt style. Like, go, go, go. Unless you need surgery or something, move along. So I got out in time and put everything together. So that's good. So we are doing this our second hip hop album, and actually from right around the same time frame. So
yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, when I was playing it, my daughter was like, "Oh wow, it sounds like Beastie Boys." I'm like, "Yeah, it's kind of same era, East Coast, same kind of vibes, the non-gangster rap and everything like that." So, yeah. Let's talk about the history of the artist. So, we're talking about A Tribe Called Quest. They were formed in 1985 by Q-Tip, Phife Dawg, and Ali Shaheed. And they were childhood friends. They met in Queens, New York. Jarobi White later joined the crew, but for the first album that we're going to be talking about tonight, we're talking about those three. And their name was originally just Quest, but then they joined the Native Tongues Collective, and they changed their name to A Tribe Called Quest because of a suggestion by the Jungle Brothers, Africa Baby Bam. And if you don't know, this is, like I said, it's usually a very small history, and the Native Tongues was a group of musicians, rappers from the New York area, and they had De La Soul, the Jungle Brothers, Queen Latifah, Black Sheep. All of those artists were in there, and they were known more for good-natured lyrics, lots of jazz-influenced beats, and not anything in that kind of gangster rap umbrella that would have been really popular in 1990. Because I know I sure as heck I had to bribe this dude who lived in a tent trailer in our parking lot to buy me all the parental advisory ones. So like, hey man, I need you to go get me that NWA, and can you pick me up some 2 Live Crew and the Ghetto Boys? So the Native Tongues were kind of the anti NWA and Ghetto Boys, and they weren't singing about, the same kind of things that all the gangster rappers would have been. And it's the one I could go in and buy myself and not have to bribe the dude who lived in the tent trailer in my park in our driveway to go pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I was more I had almost to do the same thing. We had to go like to get all of those. We'd have to go like to the state fair or something to get where they didn't really care how old you were.
Yeah, that's true. The swap meet would have been by my house. Yeah, you could go to the swap meet, but you never had a guarantee that when you bought it at the swap meet, you weren't buying like a 5th gen analog cassette that's dubbed from a dub. Yep. And it sounded more like Hiss than it did the album. So yeah,
that was the biggest problem. But yeah, that's how we did it.
You take your chances with that. But yeah, that was a way to get it. You go in and get the guy who has the massive display of cassettes, and it was hot as shit at the the swap meets, so they could be super warped as well. I mean, you're
Yeah.
rolling the dice, but you know they weren't going to say you're not old enough to get this, because they're like, dude, I'll take your money, I don't care. So yeah, that was a way, the swap meet. But I generally would have to get a ride from my dad to get to the swap meet, and he was going to be saying like, "What you bought?" I remember I had the Bob Marley Legend cassette, and I would slip in whatever gangster rap I was buying. It's like, "What'd you buy? Legend? Didn't you already have Legend?" Yeah, but the cassette got eaten. It got so you'd slip your gangster rap in the Legend cassette case, and I would get away with it that way, or bribe the dude who lived in the tent trailer in my driveway. And he was always, I mean, they let him live there. I have no idea what the story was. I just know he lived there. And if I said, "Hey man, I'll slip you an extra $5, pick me up NWA," I would end up with NWA and hide it in, the under the bed spot, because we had the water bed, and you kind of pull open the water bed part, and it had just kind of a wooden under thing, and that's where the gangster rap remained hidden.
Here we've done this show now, what, 30 some odd shows now.
36.
We have 30, we're on 36. I need somebody that makes toys or something, or figurines or something. We need a blurry Alan Rickman. We need a Meg-Goat, and now we need the guy who lives in a tent in the trailer figure. If somebody out there makes toys, please, for the love of this show, do that for us, because
we tent trailer with a little teeny figurine that goes inside.
We have so many things that your couch metaphors, your funny people that pop up in your life. That's why I love this show, ladies. Sorry to get off topic. You never know where to go.
Yeah, Meg-Goat exists. Like, we got him right here.
Yeah,
my daughter got this for me for Father's Day, and it's the greatest Father's Day present. We were in Barnes and Noble. I forget what we were even getting there, and I think we were getting something for my wife for Mother's Day, maybe, or maybe it was for my mom. I don't know. And she saw it and stashed it for a while, and it's like, oh my gosh, how can that be better? It's a little Meg-Goat, and he sits there. I see him when it's his time to be called. I bring him out, and
that's
I don't
awesome.
know. He's there, but yeah, we have that. But we need a little teeny tent trailer with a little miniature Frank who lives in it, and Frank can be holding tiny little versions of NWA and the Ghetto Boys and all those albums that I definitely wouldn't have been allowed to buy, and had to play it when my dad was at work. And you can't blast it; you had to play it low, so no one could hear.
Oh yeah. So anybody out there,
yeah,
do us a solid.
There you go.
Pops,
I got the Meg-Goat, but I need a tiny tent trailer to go next to it, a little Hot Wheels style one.
Nice.
All right. So let's see. Back to their history. Not my history. Yeah, we had my history of tent trailer guy who would buy me all the things I shouldn't be buying. All right. So in 1989, they recorded their first track, and it was on the Jungle Brothers promo, and it was kind of one of those posse cuts. They came on, and the first Q-Tip rap, the first Phife Dawg, was on that album. And in 1989 or 1990, they released their debut album, the long titled one we're covering today. So I won't really talk about that album. We'll get to it. In 1991, they released their second album, The Low End Theory. And that's actually, I had that album. I know that one well. Right. So that was the first exposure that I had to A Tribe Called Quest, besides the songs that came off this one, the singles off of this one. But yeah, The Low End Theory, I know that one well. And that one was huge. It was thought of as a landmark in hip hop, and same kind of thing as the last one. It had those blended jazz bass lines in there, and it also introduced Busta Rhymes. They had Scenario, and on Scenario, Busta Rhymes on a posse cut had his first time in there, and that's kind of put him on the map. And then he became the king of the posse cuts, because whenever Busta Rhymes would come in, he would just kind of own that track. So you don't want to follow Busta Rhymes, so Busta Rhymes usually got put last, because his verses would be so good. True. You don't want to follow that. So like, all right, Busta, you go last. We'll go. Like, you don't want to be before him either, but if you put him last, at least he's not gonna crush you. It's kind of like, okay, you're gonna watch an opening band destroy the main act. And it's happened plenty, but Busta Rhymes, he gets to be your final guy. So they had Midnight Marauders, their third album, and it was also widely acclaimed. All three of these albums had huge critical acclaim. And their fourth album, Beats, Rhymes, and Life, it was a darker album, more introspective, and didn't get the same kind of critical buzz. And then in 1998, they broke up after their album, The Love Movement. And at that point, Phife Dawg and Q-Tip were not getting along well. And they broke up until 2005. And it was just a lot of tension between them. They pursued solo careers, but never got quite that fame and notoriety that they had when they were doing it with the full A Tribe Called Quest. And they reunited in 2006 for the Rock the Bells Festival. It didn't go well. They had a lot of reunion shows, but there was always that friction. The friction didn't really go away. And there was a documentary released in 2011 that you could see. Michael Rappaport released it, and you could see the tension between them. It was just lots of bickering, lots of fighting. I've only seen clips of it, but you can tell they were not a good, happy unit at that time. So that led to another breakup all the way until 2015 when they reunited on Jimmy Fallon to play Can I Kick It, and actually released a final album at that point. And it was released posthumously for Phife Dawg because he passed away at 45 from complications of diabetes. And after that, they released the album We Got It From Here, Thank You For Your Service. And they brought in Andre 3000, Kendrick Lamar, Busta Rhymes again. And most of it was recorded before his death. They had to do some contributions after it. And I don't know if you've watched the Saturday Night Live performance that they did with it, but it was after Phife Dawg had passed away, and they're going through Q-Tip, and I'm not sure who the second rapper was. Forgive me for that. So if you know, drop it in the comments. They were rapping, and when Phife Dawg's verse came out, they dropped this painting of him. And when it was his time for the verses, Q-Tip was placing the mic up to the painting. And
very nice.
Just the emotion on his face, on all of their faces as they were performing. And, he was just being played by the DJ was just playing his parts, but it was just such a powerful performance. And that is their farewell performance. They never performed again because they weren't going to do, they weren't about to do the Tupac hologram for their stuff. So they haven't released anything, but in 2024, they were introduced into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they performed on that. They had Queen Latifah come in. They had a lot of guest stars. But here's the interesting thing that I did and found out in my research. Inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they never won a Grammy. So, yeah, they were only nominated 4 times, lost all 4. Yet they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, considered one of the most influential hip hop groups of all time. Never won a Grammy. And you'd have thought when their last album came out in 2016, they would have given it like, okay, we know the importance and the history of this band. Give them that Grammy. Yet none. So they're gonna close it out with no Grammys. Maybe they'll get one of those, lifetime achievement.
Yeah, Pioneer or Lifetime Achievement would be great.
Yeah, but those, it's kind of like, no, you had your chance when they were active. You screwed up, but they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so that didn't mess up. So at least they have that accolade, but yeah, no Grammys on the shelf. All right, so let's dig in now to the history of this album. So let me get that banner up. And yeah, forgive me, I am going to be very squinty on this one, but I have the font blown up gigantic. So it's poster-sized font that even my blurry eyes can read.
That's awesome.
So the album was released on April 17th, 1990, and it was a colorful, playful different vision for hip hop, because we were talking about the tent trailer hip hop. That's what, you got to go bribe some dude to get you, or swap out the Legend cassette case hip hop. But they decided to do something different. Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Black Sheep, all of these bands kind of tried to do something different. And as part of the Native Tongues, they wanted to bring humor, everyday life, and lots of jazz records, because this album was Q-Tip digging out his parents' record collection and finding stuff that sounded good and dropping it in there. And when we get to talking about our favorite songs, we'll talk about how that didn't always work out the best for the band digging out of his parents' crate, because got to clear them rights, as we'll learn. So yeah, the critics noticed immediately, but just like Paul's Boutique, we talked about that, the fans did not notice immediately, and it did not make a lot of money. I think it sold a total of 500,000 copies, but we're talking between 1990 and now, after it's had praise upon praise heaped on it, it took a long time for people to get it. So its top chart position was 91 on the Billboard Top 200, and then it quickly dropped off. So it had a week at 91, and then off it went. So it's hailed as a classic now, but just like our last hip hop album, it didn't get that kind of notice when it was released. It did better critically than Paul's Boutique did, but at the time, commercially, both kind of fell flat. So yeah, they both didn't get the props they needed with album sales to start, at least. All right.
I agree.
So, reviews. Reviews were strong. Paul's Boutique, we talked about it. It didn't pull strong reviews on its initial release. Critics didn't know what to make of it, especially. It's so densely packed with all of these different samples. Not all of them cleared, mind you, but none of them getting them sued. But I guess none of them were hit songs. So AllMusic gave it 4.5 stars. The Chicago Tribune gave it 3.5 out of 4. Entertainment Weekly gave it an A-. NME 9 out of 10. Pitchfork, this is a later review. They didn't review it when it initially came out, because Pitchfork didn't exist in 1990. But of course, their retrospective review, they gave it a 10 out of 10. Rolling Stone, on the other hand, did not love it. They gave it 3 stars. They praised pieces of it, but in their review, they not only didn't love it, they really didn't like anything coming out of the Native Tongues. They said it's better than the other, messy stuff that they didn't like. De La Soul, I guess that would have been right around the time of 3 Feet High and Rising.
Yep.
They were not fans of what was happening with Native Tongues. Now they, of course, dropped it and called it a classic and heaped the praise, but their initial review, 3 stars. Now it's, they bumped it up to 4 stars on their album guide, but when it came out, 3 stars, and kind of a mediocre, some good, some bad. They said it was overlong. They said the raps weren't as focused as they would have liked. And the Source gave it 5 mics. So that's a rare occurrence where an album gets 5 mics and a perfect 10 in Pitchfork. It's one of those things. I think only a few albums. I think there's a Kanye West album that got that as well. Maybe an Outkast one, but it doesn't happen often.
Right.
And Spin gave it 4 stars. Village Voice, B+. So I'm thinking if we got a Metacritic, which we can't get for a 1990 album, it'd probably sit at like 85 or so, somewhere around that, where it's kind of that seems to be kind of the sweet spot for the albums we're doing. They sit right around that 80 to 85%. And yeah, it was well loved when it came out. It was the very first 5 mic rating that Source had ever given an album. So it got it, and they thought it was a spiritual approach to hip hop and a voyage of positive vibrations and a whole new experience. So yeah, that was the first 5 mic one. And then Pitchfork with their rare perfect 10s, not a 9.72 or something like that. They got to love Love their decimal system.
Yeah.
So it's our turn now. We're going to dig into what we think about this album. So first off, what's your history with Tribe Called Quest?
Well, again, like most, this, this album, and I understand why, and so my history is very little with them until, again, mid 2000s, when they did finally, and like I said, 2005, when they brought the group back together. It was, and listening to this album, I could understand why that was my history.
Yeah.
And nothing. I'm not trying to downplay this album or say it's bad,
Yeah.
but again, it was NWA, it was Easy E, it was it was De La Soul was, I thought, better at the time because they were
Yeah.
out. You had so many other. 1990 was that influx,
Mm-hmm.
a real big influx of hip hop and at least in my area. I'm from Oklahoma, ladies and gentlemen. Don't shoot me. Don't say that. All I'm saying is the influx came around 1990 for me.
Yeah.
When we started seeing this, when MTV, started really showing a lot of these hip hop and rap albums and
Yeah.
videos on TV. So again, I mean, not that I didn't know of them. I didn't really learn of them per se until the mid 90s when I was stationed in Panama. They play a few
Okay.
songs, but at that point, they still didn't register to me.
Yeah.
I knew a few songs, but other than that, again, it wasn't until the mid 2000s when they got back together and you were starting to go, well, why did they break up? So you start doing your research then, and you realize that they did have a beef, and for a
Yeah.
long time they had a beef. So that's my history on them. But I can't say that they're one of my favorites. Again, I still go
Yeah.
back to my old school where I'm still Run DMC. I am uh, uh, you know I love Jodeci. I love all the old those guys from the
Mm-hmm.
back in the early '90s. So,
Yeah.
uh, but you asked my friend Brian. He's a huge Brian. The other guy is the same guy that was a huge uh, Beastie Boys fan, is a Tribe Called Quest fan.
Yeah.
So, of course, I had to get a hold of him and say, like, hey, how did you? He's like, so he agrees. He's probably there with Pitchfork
Mm-hmm.
and some of the other ones
Yeah.
with loving their albums. So,
Got it.
Brian,
Okay.
if you're out there watching, shout out to you, buddy. Thanks for the input.
Yes. All right. So yeah, my history, I first noticed them with Scenario. It got some airplay in California because in California you're gonna get more rap airplay, I would think, because we're near Los Angeles and NWA, that's their home base. That's it's kind of the heartland of all of that, West Coast, and they would play things like Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul. I heard it a lot on the radio, and I bought Low End Theory, but didn't, chase the back catalog. I just kind of played that one. I think I had the album after that as well, but didn't keep going. I enjoyed them. It's not that I didn't, but I kind of, my musical taste started to bend and twist at that point, and I wasn't going after their later releases. Now I'll probably go back and try to get the rest of them, or at least stream them on Spotify and give them a chance, because I only knew 2 albums going in, and the singles from this one, I knew those.
Right.
But I think I probably went and bought actual singles, because that was something you could do in the 80s and 90s. You didn't have to buy the whole album. And figure,
Yep.
1990, that's putting me at 14, around there. Maybe, let me see. Now I'm trying to make me do math, so my brain's gonna break. But I didn't have a lot of money, whatever age I was, because even when I had a job, I was making $4 an hour, and CDs were $20. So unless you could find unless you did, if it was available on Columbia House or BMG, I'll scam my way to a free copy of it, and my dog will buy it for me or something.
Absolutely.
But at that time, when CDs are $16 each and you're making $4 an hour, it's like, is this worth 4 hours of my work? Is it worth a whole shift? And you go, maybe not, but I'll buy the single that's $2 or $3. and I lived on those cassette singles. So I would have definitely have bought probably the Left My Wallet in El Segundo as a cassette single. And, maybe I would have bought another one, but you got more selective when you had to pay for everything. Now you just, all right, go on Spotify, stream it. It's easy. Musical discovery's pretty inexpensive. You pay for a Spotify premium account and you can discover the world of music. But back when we were younger, you had to really, really contemplate what you were going to drop the hard-earned money on. So yeah, I bought two, but never pursued other ones. So yeah, that's my history. I know them. I knew the singles. I have the first couple albums. Enjoyed them, but like I said, for reasons of finances, and maybe it wasn't on BMG or Columbia House, I didn't get the other ones.
Right.
All right. So what are your overall thoughts with this album?
Let's see. There's a reason. Like I said, there's a reason. You kind of get. This is my first ever listening to Tribe Called Quest, cover to cover, song, or front to back songs. And there's a reason you kind of get spoiled. Like I said, I was a Jodeci fan. I was a Boys to Men fan. I was all NWA, Eazy-E, Run DMC, all those guys. So you kind of get spoiled, I guess, maybe into listening to them, and you don't get to appreciate jazz music the way you should.
Mm-hmm.
And my voice just cracked there. I apologize. I love the jazz on this.
Yeah.
I appreciate the jazz on this, and you can really feel the jazz vibes in there. And like you said, he went in, grabbed a bunch of albums from his mom and dad's collection, said, "Here, we're going to sample this. Here, we're going to sample this. Here, we're going to sample this." So I appreciate that. At times, though, I felt like overall, sometimes I like the lyrics, but they just felt just there. Like I
Yeah.
didn't, you know what I'm saying? They were just there. It was, like we talked about Paul's Boutique and Beastie Boys. They have some lyrics that will just take you to another level.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, you have this where you're just kind of, it's good, but you're just kind of just sitting there.
Yeah.
On the same wavelength. So
Mm-hmm.
start off good. I think it ends good. There's some songs in there that you can take or leave, but I appreciate the sampling of the music. My album still hasn't come in on time. So I had to listen on Spotify. So I got like an extra 45 songs, I think, that I got remixes. And
Yeah.
so I will kind of go. I know that I'm not going to put them into my favorites because I'm just going to name the original songs that were on the album. But some of the remixes really change it and make it a little bit better. I think you had CeeLo Green and
The Footprints.
yeah, and some other people that were on there that really came in and sent some of those songs over the edge. So
yeah,
if we were doing the what is it, 25th anniversary or the third or whatever anniversary, what they have loaded up, man, I might be giving a different review here. But my overall thoughts: it's a good album, it's fun, but it's not something I would write home to my mom about. This is not a Stevie Wonder, it's not Stevie Wonder or Marvin Gaye that I'm that just blew me away or Alabama Shakes. It's not that kind of album, but it's good.
Yeah.
So that's my overall thoughts so far.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'll have to say it took me multiple listens to get there. On the first listen, my notes were pretty sparse. I'm like, oh wow, what do I have to say? And I had to listen to it again and again. I'm gonna complain. Please put lyric sheets in there, people. We're dropping $20+ on these albums. I don't want to have to read it on genius.com and Spotify. It's so much more convenient. And some bands put them in, some bands don't. It's hit and miss. I wish it was kind of a universal to put them in because it makes it so much easier. Because just like the Beastie Boys album, which didn't come with lyrics, there's a lot of lyrics. There's a lot going on. Yeah. And I think one of the things I noticed between knowing this album and knowing the other ones was that it's pretty much a Q-Tip album. This is his album. Fife comes in a little bit, Muhammad comes in a little bit, but Q-Tip pretty much runs point on the album. And I think the other albums I enjoy more because you get more of that collaboration.
I think it was more of a collective song than it is on this one.
Yeah, it'd be like if one of the Beastie Boys took point and it's the MCA album or the Ad Rock album. What makes that work so well is the interplay between the three that's constantly going on. And if you look at genius.com, where I had to go and search out the lyrics, it's, Q-Tip, Q-Tip, Q-Tip. Fife's, not to say Fife's not in there, but there are plenty of songs where he doesn't even make an appearance. And I think the interplay that develops later makes the band stronger. It makes them stronger to have the three rappers, and at one point they even get that fourth rapper, and you just get a lot more fun interplay because Fife kind of brings a goofier energy than Q-Tip, who does bring a goofy energy as well. But I think having the three really working together all the time makes them a stronger band in their later one. So I'm not here with Pitchfork. I'm not here with the Source giving it perfect scores. I'm not going to say it's a poor album, but a perfect one. It takes a lot for me to call any album perfect, and we're not there on this one, but that's my opinion. If you differ, you are entitled to that. We are not going to disagree with you because it could be the thing where I could play it 10 more times and find, wow, you know what? I was wrong. I do think it's perfect. But after probably about 4 listens, I would say now where I'm at, because I, of course, like all albums, I have to give it the running test, and it's got movement. It passes the running test, but perfect, I'm still not there.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right. So what is one of your favorite songs on this?
Well, I mean, it's probably everybody's, at least one of, or at least I think it's probably everybody's, but Can I Kick It? I just, it's a good, it's one, I think there was a single off of the album anyway, but, yeah, Can I Kick It's really good. It's I mean, never hearing a whole lot of their songs, I would almost call it their signature song.
Yeah.
In a way, as this is how, obviously you were introduced to them through the song.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good. I liked the beat. It was enough to get, like I said, it's enough to get the dash head bob.
There you go.
I was really into it. And then this would probably because it just kind of, it cracked me up a little bit, but I thought it was really good. Bonita Applebum.
Oh yeah, I got plenty to say about both those ones because Bonita Applebum.
It's
that's the jam.
It's really good. It made me, it's a good song. I chuckled throughout the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then probably, I know a lot of people like the Lucian song. I was doing some research, and everybody it wasn't even in my top 3. Push It Along was in my top 3.
Yeah, I like that one.
And so that's my top 3. Can I Kick It?
Okay.
Bonita Applebum, Push It Along. Just thought all of those were well worth me listening to this album.
Worth the price of admission right there.
Yeah, definitely worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
So you just it's because Push It Along, that, like I said, we talk about this all the time. You got to have a song that really gets you into the album, and I thought that song did this. Had there been one of the other ones that didn't quite pull me in, I think it would have been a different outcome for me.
Yeah.
So I thought it started off good. So that's my top 3.
Yeah. So I have Can I Kick It? Obviously, that's one of those all-time hip hop things where if you say Can I Kick It, someone's going to answer you yes you can, because it's that much. It's ingrained in our DNA now. That song is one of those all-timers. So yeah, the interesting thing about that is it's using a Lou Reed sample of Walk on the Wild Side, and discovered they did not get permission for that. And it was Q-Tip who, again, he was digging through his mom's stuff, and he thought, you know what? No hip hop artists are out there using Lou Reed.
Right.
And there's a reason. They got fucked.
They
got
sued.
100% of the songwriting credit went to Lou Reed. They got zero, and that's absolutely, you have other songs that are big, but that's their song. That's, the one that, everyone knows. If you know even a small amount about hip hop, you know that one, and they never made a penny off that one. So I kind of made me think of the Verve with Bittersweet Symphony, and how they used that little Rolling Stones sample, which wasn't even a Rolling Stones song. It was an orchestral version of a Rolling Stones song, and
Right.
lost all the rights to that song. They had to hand over the rights to Rolling Stones. The Verve made $0. They had no songwriting credit for it. Eventually, the Rolling Stones gave them some songwriting credit on it, but too little, too late. That when it was at its pinnacle, they made nothing. And Lou Reed, I think he's dead. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I
So
believe. Yeah.
he never said, you know what? Here you go, guys. I'm going to give you back the rights. Like, nope, he kept them till his death and hasn't given them back since. So they never made a penny on it, even if it's the song most associated, most recognizable. They lost out on that one. But Fife Dog was saying, hey, you know what? We never made any money on it, but at least he didn't sue us. So it could have been worse. So, look at the bright side, and at least they had other songs that, this one wasn't a juggernaut of a hit. This album wasn't a gigantic hit. So it could have been worse. But yeah, Lou Reed just said, all right, I won't sue you, but I want 100%.
I want
And
100%
they gave it to
yeah.
him. Like I said, much like the Verve and Bittersweet Symphony. And that's probably the same thing. You're going against Lou Reed. You're going against the Rolling Stones. They got way better lawyers. They have way more money. You're not going to win that. You're going to sink into that one. So, yeah, that I felt bad. But Bonita Applebum, I had that one on my list too. I said it's a horny but sweet song. So it's kind of the contrast of what you're going to get with NWA, calling out, all the derogatory names you could call a woman. I'm not going to repeat those, but you do a little research, go on genius.com, you'll find out. But you won't get it from my mouth. I won't hide from profanity, but I'm not about to use those derogatory terms that women would have been called. So it's sweeter. It's a sweeter approach where it's kind of, I think of the cartoon wolf with the eyes popping out when he sees Bonita Applebum, and he's kind of boing, looking at her. Yeah. He's enamored, but he's not going to be rude. He's going to come in and try to approach. So, Q-Tip, he loves her. He's enamored.
Yeah,
he definitely wants to approach a relationship in all ways. And it works because it's got enough sweetness to make it not feel skeevy and gross.
Yeah,
so I guess that's where it lives.
It's a sweet song, and that's why I like. I mean, I chuckle at the Applebum. Every time we talk about it, I chuckle at the name. But I agree. He was definitely in love with this woman.
Yeah, he was cartoon wolf with the eyes popping out. It's like that was my notes. There's my couch metaphor. Q-Tip is cartoon wolf staring at Bonita Applebum, and of course Bonita meaning pretty, Applebum, Phil, you can figure it out.
She got thick booty.
Yes, we
booty,
know.
Y'all.
So, and Q-Tip's here for it. He's down. So yeah, but here's the thing I thought funny talking about the remixes. Pharrell does a remix on the deluxe edition that makes it feel dirtier.
Dirty.
It's got all these groans and moans. I'm like, Pharrell, you took this kind of sweet little song that could even be a love song, and you just made that thing filthy. Pharrell added the moans and the groans, and next thing you know, it went from a PG-13 plus jam all the way over to the NC-17, and now you can only watch it with showgirls. He took it too far.
That's why I'm glad I'm not reviewing that song through the deluxe edition. You're right. It just not that I dislike Pharrell, but that no, I don't think that needed it.
It didn't. Made it dirty, man. It was innocent enough, and then Pharrell was just like, oh no, I'm gonna sample some porn stars or
Yeah,
something, and
yeah,
here you go. And it just kind of ruined the vibe that was on there that was just enough. I think that's where the song lived, was it was just enough, almost there. It's dancing on the line, but it never crossed it. And then
yeah.
Pharrell's just like, we're going over the line. We're gonna, do donuts on the line because we're taking it all the way to uncomfortable skeevy pervness. It's like now you're in Juan S territory.
Yeah,
Why'd you have to do
you
that?
are definitely in Juan S territory.
Yes. And yeah, that's funny. I was at a concert the other day and they were showing the posters of who was there. I'm like, 1S. I know that now.
Yeah,
I probably walked by that poster 50 times and never noticed it. I'm like, there
that's
he is. I wonder if
awesome.
he sang his perv song.
That's
So
awesome. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, now I know. So let's see. I think I had one other one on there. Oh yeah. I left my wallet in El Segundo. I like that one because you like the Beastie Boys when we talked about them. I like those kind of story songs.
Yep.
And it is straightforward lyrics. I mean, I got enchiladas and I ate them. That is the most straightforward lyrics that exist in all of lyrics. It's like fifth grade style lyrics right there. But it's catchy. It's so damn catchy. And now I've passed El Segundo plenty of times on the freeway, and every time I pass it, I start singing, I left my wallet in El
El
Segundo. And
Segundo.
it's like, okay, it's now there forever.
First,
Again, I thought they really had an El Segundo story, but apparently it came from Sanford and Son,
yeah.
which I didn't know this, but I guess Red Fox's character would always talk about going to El Segundo. So because they watched the show, that's where they got it from. I didn't know. Since living in
I wouldn't.
California, living in Southern California, and driving past El Segundo countless times, I thought, maybe they just left their wallet there. And now he's
I got
telling the story.
I got a little Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff uh, vibes from that. Well, my parents went away for a week's vacation.
Yeah.
I kind of that's the vibe. I mean,
The parents just don't understand vibes.
yeah,
I
parents.
can see that.
So, but now that hearing Segundo over parents don't understand, I like Segundo better.
I'd say so, yeah. And
Yeah,
they're both just dumb little story songs, but they're fun, they're silly. And that one, yeah, like I said, being from SoCal, seeing El Segundo more times than I can count, and every time I will get that song in my head. It
yeah.
doesn't matter if it's, the 500th time I passed it. As soon as you see the El Segundo city limits, I'm singing that song, guaranteed.
Yeah, yeah. That's why Oklahomans like songs about Oklahoma because
Yeah.
we hear Tulsa or something like that. We go crazy. Like, yeah, that's our town.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. So El Segundo's not my town, but hey, I pass it on the freeway. So, and my gosh, I couldn't even tell you what El Segundo looks like. I don't think I want it to be my town from what I remember of it, but I pass it. Like, all
there's
right,
a Marine base there, isn't there? If
I
I'm not,
believe so. Yeah.
I think there's a Marine base there.
It's where I leave my wallet. It's like keep your wallets tight when you pass El Segundo. Don't leave it there.
That's the same as going to Yuma, Arizona. By the way, don't go to Yuma, Arizona.
Yeah, I've been there. It's not exciting. Just keep driving. It's fine. And
It
if
is
you live in El
definitely.
Segundo, apologies. What can I say? All right. So, any lyrics stand out to you?
Oh yeah, Segundo. We're going to start with it because we talked about
Okay.
it. And again, here's the reason I say I compare it to uh, the parents just don't understand. My mother went away for a month-long trip. Her and some friends on an ocean liner ship. She made a big mistake by leaving me home. I had to roam, so I picked it. Who doesn't, everybody did it when they were young. Probably, I say everybody did it.
Yeah.
Everybody, if their parents went away, you went out and did something, foolish. Me and my cousin went down to Dallas the day after I graduated high school. My parents went away on a vacation. We hopped in our truck and drove down to Dallas and did some crazy stuff. So I totally get it.
Mhm.
I love the vibes on it though, and it's just a fun song. While
Yeah.
it doesn't hit my top three, the lyrics are fun.
Mhm.
I don't want to take all the ones that maybe you got, but
Yeah.
I just felt he's having fun, and you
Mm-hmm.
got to have fun in a song. And like you said, a storytelling song is always the best way to go. And
Yeah.
then, I again, we're going to come back to Bonita Applebum. Just the entire song is good.
Yeah.
The lyric,
Yeah.
everything, this again, just like you said, he's like, you got me put on, Bonita Applebum. I said, you got me put on. He's just telling her, hey,
Yeah.
you got. I just love the whole chorus.
Yeah.
And then, hey, being with you is a top priority. Ain't no need to question the authority. I like
Yeah.
that. Like, hey, listen,
Yeah.
you ain't gotta ask nobody. You ain't gotta ask your dad. You ain't gotta ask your brother. You ain't gotta ask your mom. You and I are together. I love that. I'm not saying, I'm not condoning that nobody gets. You don't need to get permission. I'm just saying I like the way that came across. That, like, hey, you're my girl. You don't need to ask anybody else. You're my girl.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was really good. So those are
Yeah.
some of
Like
my,
I said, it's a stark contrast to the NWA
yeah,
way of approaching a woman,
yeah,
and it's a 180 from how they do it. Even though, like I said, it borders on that little perviness, but it's good natured. Bonita might laugh him off. She might, take him on and say, "All right, let's go on a date." So you just
I
don't know where it's gonna land.
I definitely don't get like creepy vibes from this song. If
Yeah. Till
now, if you,
Pharrell gets his hands
yeah,
on it,
yeah,
makes
till
it a
Pharrell,
porn
Pharrell got his,
jam.
till Pharrell got his hands on it, but I don't get it. Like, we can go back and look at some of the song, like we did with, you know, uh, 38 Special, and some of them were like, oh, but I think this song still today it would hold up and not be looked at as creepy or the way he's singing to her. So,
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't I don't think it crosses a line. But yeah,
yeah,
I got some lyrics from that one too. And the thing about it is, I laughed so much when I was listening to these lyrics because you have these guys like the rest of it's Q-Tip doing the rapping,
yeah,
but you got the rest of Tribe in the background making just silly little noises.
noises.
And
How
so
you
when he said,
chuckle?
"You and me, hun, were a match made in heaven. I like to kiss you where some brothers won't." And then you have them listen up in the background.
Yeah.
"I like to tell you some things brothers don't." And then in the
That's why
background.
you chuckle. That's why you chuckle through the whole song. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's
And if
so fun.
only you could see through your elaborate eyes, only you and me, hun, the love never dies. Satisfaction, I have the right tactics. And if you need them, I got crazy prophylactics. And then someone goes, "Ooh." And oh my gosh, I'm
Oh,
on the friggin' floor. So it's
oh,
just
yeah.
the dude in the back who has to go, "Ooh." Oh, it's the best. It's
It's
like
fantastic.
the greatest thing on the album is that dumb little "ooh." I laugh every time I hear it.
It's
And
good.
if you pay attention to the song, and that's the what another thing Pharrell does, he removes all the background little interjections, which are just funny and amazing, and they're all taken out for groans. And it's like, Pharrell, man, I don't know
Yeah.
what was going on in your life at that point. Had you had a dry spell with the ladies? May I don't know, but you just took a sweet little song
And
and
ruined it.
removed the best parts and interjected,
Porn.
it's straight up just uncomfortable porn where I was on my run. It was finishing out. It was because I think I ran long enough to play the entire album and the bonus tracks. And I got to that one. I was just thinking, what happened here? Why did you ruin this sweet little song with your dumb, groans and grunts? Pharrell, you failed us. That you've done good stuff, but that's not one of the things. The other, like you said, some of the
Yeah, we
other
lost it.
ones that are on there are actually really good and entertaining. That one I think kind of fails to hit where it needs to.
Absolutely.
All right. So, any other lyrics that you found?
No, I think that's my only ones. I mean, I like. There's a lot of great songs. There's a lot of great lyrics, and if I went through all of them, we'd be here all night. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, I had on youthful expression, put out fires with 40 ounces of with a 40 ounce of water. You know you ought to dance to this girl you kiss. I like fried foods, especially fish. And that's another one. It's so dumb. I laughed. I like fried fish too. I'm with you, sir. You and I agree. And then body's healthy, mind is wealthy, thoughts they flow that will propel me. And then where he said, politicians are magicians, make your vote, they hope you're wishing, ambiguous words, senseless verbs, they all amount to crap that's heard. It's like, dang, that if nothing sums up a politician's speech better than that, I've never heard it. It's like you said it all, and you're not calling out any specific politician.
Nope.
Ambiguous words and senseless verbs. Like
Yep.
that is the exact thing. Like you watch the debates, ambiguous words and senseless verbs. Both candidates. I'm not calling one out. Don't think I'm on either side.
Right.
I'm on Q-Tip's side.
I'm on Q-Tip side for real.
Q-Tips make your vote. They hope you're wishing. They're magicians. And they all amount to crap that's heard. It's like, yes, They're not saying it's good, but they're just words. You hear them. They're just crap that you hear. And I thought that is the greatest lyrics that describe any politician's speech because they're all just trying to rile you up and make you, because I mean, against the end, they want you to punch their tab, however it may be done in the polling place now. But it's all just words. Crap that's heard. It's like, Q-Tip,
Agreed.
you said it right.
Agreed.
And then description of a fool. I had one other one in that where he said, beats are in public, beats are in private, tried it round me, almost a riot. And then said, forget him. Don't you know he's a loser? Who would love a woman, turn around and abuse her? So I liked that one. And then also from that song, like Rod Serling from the Twilight Zone, Earth to your brain, is anyone home? So yeah, I loved that one. Just kind of when that song's just kind of discussing three idiots. One's kind of a drug dealer. One is one of these guys who gets in a fight if he gets brushed against, and the other one is abusing his woman. And they're just saying all three of them are idiots, and we don't like any of them. So I liked those lyrics. I thought they were a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's some good lyrics. Like I said. If you have a criticism that's bad, it would not be the writing and the lyrics of this album. So
yeah, they're fun, and it's where Phife Dawg and Muhammad kind of live on this album is those little backgrounds, those little oohs and ohs, and they just bring something fun to the album where it feels like a Q-Tip album, but they bring enough. I mean, Bonita Applebum, that little ooh is my favorite part of the whole album. Just that dumb little ooh when he says prophylactics. It's just, and they talk a lot about prophylactics and Jimmy hats. It's like, okay, if that doesn't put you back to the 90s, nothing will. That's 80s and 90s epitomized right there.
And to actually get the word prophylactic in a song is rare. So you have to appreciate the rhyming and the words. So again, it's just a fun song, and I love it. So,
yeah. Tell Pharrell ruined it. Pervy horniness, Pharrell, knock it off. They shouldn't even put that on. Should have heard like, what did you do? What did you do this song? People are gonna think we're NWA now. That's not cool.
True.
All right. True. So, any skips for you on this one?
Man. Let me pull up my list here. I only had two, really.
Okay.
I mean, this is subjective. I would say youthful expression and rhythm at the end of the day were probably not my favorite songs. While I'm probably skipping rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's bad.
I was so on the fence with that one. I played it like, oh, so yeah, I'm with you on that one. It's just, I didn't love the beat on it.
I think that's what it was. Like, it really just didn't. Like, it was the one song that didn't jive with me through the entire. A lot of, like I said, it just didn't hit me well. I will listen to Youthful Expression, but it's not my favorite. Again, it's okay. I'm not. If you, like I said, when you call something a worst song or a skip a song, it's subjective, anyways.
Yeah.
So, but those are probably my only two. The rest, great. they're fine. I don't have any problem with it. But those two,
Yeah.
I no, I'll just say skip one. Rhythm, I'm skipping. Like I will get up from my chair to go over to
Move the
the
needle song. Yeah, that's
move the
the true
needle.
sign of a skipping song. We don't say skipping on Spotify because that's too damn easy. That's a button. But you want to skip a vinyl track, you have to put specialized effort to get
Yeah.
that needle up and just right onto the next track. So it takes a song you really don't want to hear to have to be skipping. And we found plenty of them. Don't
Oh
get me
yeah.
wrong. But that's what we're saying when we say skip it, not just press the button, because you can always press the button. And if you're kind of even a song you're kind of okay on, you'll might press the button on. But when you got to get off the couch and move that needle, that's a true skip song. So yeah, I'd say that was close for me. I'm still kind of on the fence. Ham and Eggs. It's funny, that was going to be a skip song. Then it became the song stuck in my head as I'm
Yeah,
walking.
it's the earwig. Ham and eggs
Yeah,
is an earwig for real. Yeah.
and I know that was said to have influenced Outkast. They were very influenced by kind of the interplays of that song. It's like some of the things. Some of the lyrics are so dumb,
Yeah.
but yet here I am. I don't want no ham and eggs. I'm singing
That's
that
why I
stupid song.
that's why I kept it because it is an
Yeah, I keep
earwig.
it now because it's an earworm and I
Yeah.
can't get rid of it. So yeah, it succeeds in what it needs to do. It may not be one of my top tracks. I'm not picking it as the best, but it's just some goofy interplay, and his grandma's making him all this food and he doesn't want to eat it, and it's dumb, but yet it's in my head. And probably when we finish this, I'll be humming that song out in
It's
the
because
living room.
it's because
It's
you can
just so
chuckle
catchy.
to it. It's because you can chuckle and laugh
Mhm.
along, and if I can do that, then you've caught me. You've caught my attention to the song, and I won't skip it because I like a good laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did have a skip. Mine is not a full song, it's part of the song skip. So push it along. It
Ooh.
concludes at a point, I think, all right, good. And then we get the next rapper in to kind of introduce the band.
Yeah,
And I
I can
don't
see
need
that.
that. I
Yeah, I can
didn't
see
need
that.
that last 2+ minutes. And here's what I equated to a couch metaphor for the day. I'm listening to that, and it feels like if you're at a concert and the band just played a nice song, like a gem, one that you've been waiting to hear. And then all of a sudden, the singer and the bass player and the guitarist walk off stage, and you're stuck with a damn drum solo. That's the drum solo of the album. So yeah,
Uh,
I'm never here for drum solos. If you're a drum solo person, more power to
my
you.
yeah, my buddy Ryan would not like that metaphor. He would not like. He loves a good drum solo.
Yeah, you can have them. I know, like I went to see Tool recently, and they do. Danny Carey's a spectacular drummer, one of the greatest drummers there are. But he does like a 14-minute drum solo, and my brain hurts. It's like, no more, please. I
Yeah.
can't take this. I don't want any more of your drum solo. So yeah, that is the drum solo of the album. It's the song was moving, I'm feeling it, and then it kind of stops and changes, and it's oh, all the rappers have left the stage, and now the drum solo's coming. I'm not here for it. So that is enough to make me get up and switch it even on the album. But the other songs, I don't. There's some I don't love, but I don't think I dislike any of them enough to put the effort into it. Yours, the one you picked, is the closest, I'd say. And I
Yeah.
did, as I was driving, I was doing my kind of last drive listen as I was driving home from the eye doctor, and I did press the skip button. But I'm thinking, would I move the needle? Is it worth the needle move? Because it's effort to move the
It's
needle.
that's what I'm definitely putting effort in to get up off my chair, walk over to the record player, and move the needle. And I it's been a while since I've actually had one where I'm getting off my duff
Where
to
you
do
have to
that.
get up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And the last 2 minutes of push it along, I'm moving the needle. That's the only one that I truly need to get up and get that needle moved because it's not the best. So now let's get to our last category. You're gonna keep this one or return it to the used bin.
I'll keep it. It's like I said, I don't. I'm right there with the if Metacritic had judged this, I'd probably rate it at a B minus.
Mm-hmm.
81, 82 for me, or three. I give it 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a keeper. It's again, it'll when I want to hear Bonita Applebum, I'm going to pull it out. And even if that's just a song that you can, especially if you've seen some of my videos lately where we're dancing in the mornings in our kitchen.
Yeah.
Bonita Applebum will be a good morning dance song to it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll keep it. I don't dislike the album enough to say take it to the used bin. It's got some,
Yeah.
it's got some nice levity
Mhm.
to it, I guess. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'll keep. Yeah, like I said, I'm not getting any highs from it, but I'm definitely not getting any lows except for rhythm.
Yeah.
But there's enough of songs in there to keep my head bobbing every once in a while. So yeah, I'm keeping it.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm gonna keep it. It's not. I would say it's not as good as Pitchfork says it is, but it's not as bad as Rolling Stone says
Right.
it is.
True. Right there. I'm right there with you.
Kind of lives in a place. Those ones that gave it a B. I think that's its place. Like you said, it's that 80 on Metacritic, and I enjoy it enough where I would play songs from it. And if you buy the album, it's that 180-gram vinyl, so each side only has 3 songs on it,
Yeah.
so it's easy to skip around, and you could get a whole side where you just think, I'm not feeling this whole side, so I'll skip it and go to the next one, because
Yep.
it does feel like a longer album. I mean, I don't know what the actual length is, but the feeling of the album, it's a 5 Mile album. I can say that much because it took me 5 miles to finish it and the bonus track. So it's about
Yeah.
that
That's
long. But well,
about
I don't know. Five
maybe
Miles in the summer album because my pace is dog shit right now because
so
it's
an
like I'm
hour.
running
Probably about an
109.
hour. Yeah. Probably
Yeah,
about an
it's about
hour.
an hour. Normally, that's not mine, but on right now in the summer, I'm doing a lot more stops in the parks for water breaks and
When it's
pouring
900
water over
degrees.
my head. Because even if I wait to go out till the evening, it's okay. I'm gonna wait till 7 o'clock and it's still 85 and
Yeah.
gross. So yeah,
Yep.
it's a summer 5 Mile album. Wintertime, I could probably knock it out by about track 9 or so, but right now it's just survival miles. I'm not thriving out there. I'm just keeping my distance up so I can do a marathon proper when it's cool enough to not melt. All right.
Yeah.
So
Well,
with that said, next week
next week.
we got Cowboy
Cowboy
Junk,
Junkies.
the Trinity Session. And we also have to be our tightest show ever because I have tickets to a concert that
Ooh.
starts at 8 o'clock, but it's like 15 minutes from my house. So we'll have to make it a nice tight. Well, actually, where we're at right now, we would be on good time.
Yeah, we'd
So
be
yeah, we can make it. So what does that mean? I'm the one that
no
takes us on
tangents.
tangents.
Hey,
You don't take us there. That's my fault.
we don't invite Lori Calcaterra with us or Sarah.
No
and we'll
Lori,
be
no
good.
Sarah, and
And
we
we'll be
can get
good.
out in a clean amount of time for me to go run and see. Yeah, I got tickets for Def Leppard next week, so that'll
Oh,
be
I'm jealous.
fun.
I am jealous.
That's like one of my childhood jams right there. Like, all right, like Pyromania. That's Pyromania. That's one of my favorite albums. So.
Hysteria, and Pyromania.
Yeah, those two. I'm looking
Those.
forward to that. That'll be a good time. And they're like I said, they're playing like 15 minutes from the house, so it makes it even better. And they have a 10 o'clock curfew, so all of the factors are good. So I'll be home at regular bedtime, but that just means we gotta keep my tangents to a minimum. And yes.
Yeah, Def Leppard is definitely those two albums were my high school albums. Those were my whew.
Yeah.
I won't, just Little Dash had some girlfriends at the time, and those were his albums to listen
Making
to.
your mixtape for them.
Making your mixtape with the Def Leppard.
Yeah. And I had certain moments on the Def Leppard album. It's funny because there's one part in the song, I forget where it's at, and I would take it and I would remove parts of the songs if they annoyed me. So I'm thinking, if I had this Tribe Called Quest album, I would have just removed that section from the song altogether. I would get the tape and I would record over it, and I'd say I'd rather hear the blank space than the rest of the song. So I'd play the blank space, and then you'd move the needle and move it till it was perfect. And yeah, I would record over sections of songs that got on my nerves. So yeah, even then, I would say the song's good, but this section does not work for me. It's getting erased. So yeah, next week, Cowboy Junkies, and I'll spoil it. I know nothing about them, so I'm brand new to
All right.
the band and to the album. So looking forward to it. Will it make it on time from Amazon? We'll see. But it's probably going to need to be a Spotify listen because I'm at a con this weekend anyway. So it's going to be a tight schedule to do it.
All right.
All right. So Ben, you've been watching on Pilled. That's good. I really, on Pilled, we got to create a cut of this with the music on it where Pilled won't yank it off. And eventually, when it's on Roku, I know Pops was saying that we'll be able to add the musical sections because Roku won't yank them off either. And that's what we want, because playing the music, playing the sections would really
push us over.
It would get a lot more impact. So yeah. So do we get a con walkthrough? I will give a con walkthrough for sure. So yeah, we'll do a con walkthrough. So it won't be Saturday morning comic talk. We'll do a con walkthrough. It's actually a new con. It's out kind of it's new but not new. It was run 1 year and then it changed ownership and kind of fell off. It got very poor. Now it's back to its original location, original ownership in Paris, California. No baguettes in Eiffel Towers, dirt and desert. But it should be a good con. The first year I did it, it was one of my best cons ever. I sold a crazy amount of books. So we'll do a walkthrough of a little small con, because I've done it for other small cons and people seem to like it. But it won't take me long. Walk through in a couple minutes, but I'll make sure I stop and talk to some of the other creators that are there, do some kind of impromptu quick interviews, and yeah, should be fun. So con walkthrough this Saturday at, I don't know if it'll be exactly at 9:30. It just really depends on when the con opens. It might be a 10 o'clock one. We'll see, but definitely a con walkthrough. And then Sunday, I'll be doing a special show to close out my Kickstarter. So
very nice.
If anyone feels like coming on and just shooting the breeze for around 30 minutes or so as we go for the last half hour of the Kickstarter, let me know. Anyone's invited. We're just going to talk Immortal Era as we close it out. And speaking of that, I'll share the link. It is live. We are on, I believe, well, it closes Sunday. So Sunday at about 6 o'clock it closes. I need to find out the exact time so I can build the show.
You're about 4 days away, if I remember right.
Somewhere around there. Yeah. So
I looked at it today, and I think it said 4.
And we're getting that. We're closing in on 4,000, which will get us a poker chip. So that hopefully we get there. All the stickers and magnets are ordered. So I ordered them today, actually, so we can have them in time for when the books come. Because I'm not ordering the books until the campaign closes, because I have to wait till the funds clear so I can afford to pay for the books to come. So everything else, so what's he saying? If he's not on the road, he'll be there. All right. So yeah, remote location weekend, kind of me too. Sunday, I'll be here proper in person. But yeah, like I said, it'll be kind of a drop in. If you feel like it, show. If you want to drop in, ask me. I'll send you the link and you can come. And if, hopefully I can get a couple of people from the book to come in and drop in for a minute, because I still have never had Maya on the show. That would be nice. I know Caesar's in Brazil. It's a lot harder to get the connection, because I had Paris, my colorist, who's from Africa, and trying to get a time coordinated was tricky. And this will be true of Brazil, I'm sure. So yeah, it is live right now. Please go over, take a look. I'll give you the brief run through. It's a world 200 years in the future where everyone has gained immortality, but not a immortality with powers and abilities. And they're trying to find a way to bring death back into the world and save humanity by killing them. If you like Lori Calcaterra's book, you'll like mine, because we definitely share a brain when it comes to how we're writing our series. We're just approaching it from different ways, but both of us, death is broken. trying to find the answers why. I gave you the answer why. You get that in issue 2, but that doesn't mean we don't have a lot of messiness that we have to sift through. So it should be fun. So he said, yeah, I'm trying to read. I can't read.
I'll be at Pete's. I'll be at Pete's. Take my whole setup over there for the weekend.
Okay.
And then
let's see what this other one says.
Hey, Ed, can I get a first print #1 of Immortal Era?
Ooh, there's people that have asked, and I, at the moment, don't have any. I am constantly hunting for a first print Immortal Era 1.
That's a 5-figured book now, buddy. It's a 5-figured book.
The last one I have, I got graded at a 9.8, and I sold it for $250.
Very nice. Very nice.
So I am on the hunt, and I've actually bought some up on eBay. So, Pops, I will keep an eye out for a first print. If I find one, I will find a way to get it to you, but I'll ask you if you want it to get graded or not, because now when I find first prints, I try to get them graded. But yeah, I am on the lookout. I'll probably have to outbid someone on eBay, but Pops, the next one I find will have your name on it. And yeah, like I said, the last one I sold, I put a $250 price tag, and a lot of people scoffed at it. They're like, "Are you out of your mind? $250? What, your book's not even blah and blah." I'm like, well, when you see it on Netflix one day, don't come crying to me that you didn't buy it when it was only $250. Now it's got an extra zero. Don't complain. I gave you your chance. And that's when the guy's like, all right, I'm buying it. And he dropped the $250 right then and there. So that was my last one. But yes, I will be on the lookout. I actually am going to hit there. There's a couple comic shops that might have copies. So I will look for you, Pops, and hopefully I will be able to find you a first print, because now we're on 5th printing. So it's gone through a lot of prints, each printing with 500 copies. So yeah, it's over. Actually, yeah, I think one of the printings was 1,000. So we're over 1,000 copies of issue 1. Let's see, about 3,000 copies of issue 1 have sold. So it's a good seller, and I keep it in print. So I will keep my eyes out for you, because you don't want a 5th print, and I realize that.
Very nice.
All right. So if anybody else wants a first print, let me know. I'm on the hunt. Don't outbid me on eBay, please. I got to buy back my own stuff. Because I once went to bidding war for my own book, but it was because he had a first print, and I had to get it. All right. So we will be back next week. Got one more comment. So yeah. Yep. That is true. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, look, I can't guarantee one day that this will be on TV, but I have a producer who's shopping it. And if it is on TV, your life will be one of regret that you didn't get it when you could. Because the 5th issue 1, there was only 500 printed. So it's the smallest, the first print. Then the second print, I printed 1,000. So yeah, by now, 5th print. I mean, yeah, if it does go on Netflix, even a 5th print will be worth money. But first print, I'm on the hunt. I'm always trying to find them, and I know a couple other people trying to get them from me, but I got your back, sir, if I have luck. And yeah, we will be back. I'll be back Saturday and Sunday this weekend talking from Paris Comic-Con. So if you're out in the Paris area, don't go to France. You're not going to find me there. But if you're in the Paris desert of California, come on by. I have plenty of stuff available, and you can also come in. If you back my Kickstarter at the con, I'm going to give you a special gift for anyone who backs and buys a physical copy at the show. So I'm going to give you that opportunity. So it will. Nice. So yeah, when it's that would be good. We want it on the Madness Roku network, and yeah, give it the rights, and we'll have a big thing. And then all those people who did buy the first print and paid all that money will be like, cha-ching, it's my turn. So yes, we will be back. I will be back Saturday and Sunday, and Dash and I will be back with no tangents. I must not tangent. That's the rules. and we'll be talking about Cowboy Junkies. Then I'll be running off to go see Def Leppard, so it's going to be good. And until then, have a great rest of your week.
Yeah.